Hey guys, Happy New Year. I just want to start off by wishing you the best for the upcoming year. And honestly, from my own point of view, I can't wait for it to end. 2025 was especially shitty. Anyways, the topic of the day is let's talk about gang stalking. So, I was a victim of gang stalking. I don't wish it on anyone, on the worst of my enemies. It's incredibly stupid. In the world that we live in today, it's very easy to target people and to call them out and abuse them, coming from an anonymous place. So they don't ever have to actually show their face. They don't ever actually have to take accountability for the shit that they've spewed. You see me, here I am. Here's my face. My name is Michelle. I am not coming from a place where I'm in the shadows. I'm not anonymous. I will call you out. I will tell you exactly how I feel. I will also treat you with kindness and respect until you give me a reason not to. So, that being said, there was a time where I don't know if you saw my previous video or not, but the ex that I spoke of, someone that I still have a very deep love for, he typically, or would like for people to believe that he's shy and he doesn't talk a lot, which he doesn't in the beginning. But I also experienced years with him where he would get on the phone with family members and friends and gossip, just talk the utmost shit about people when they were not there to hear what he was saying or to defend themselves. So I know that this is where the targeting, the gossiping, the lies, the rumors, the putting me on blast, that it stemmed from. He, as I mentioned before, he fell to temptation by this pick-me person that only had to offer her body. She didn't have any substance or anything real to offer. Maybe some promises. Maybe, we could be this, that, and the other. We could do this together or whatever. And I fear that he's probably realizing that she was fake and full of shit. Regardless, I digress. When he was cheating on me, or if not physically cheating on me, emotionally cheating on me, talking to her, having daily conversations, like it's like that one song, like, why does he call you daily? Why does he call you darling? Why does he call you daily? Why are you trying to act like I'm just being crazy? That was the situation. That was definitely the situation. Like, he admitted to me that they would talk in the morning on his way to work. 7 o'clock in the morning while he's driving to work, they would get on the phone and have conversations every day. And I don't like to be that person that looked at the phone or whatever. But I did. I looked at the phone. I saw call logs. They talk daily. And she called him darling and baby and sent him pictures, kissy face pictures. And he just told me, oh, no, it's nothing. She's just a friend. She's just a friend. Well, whatever. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, gang stalking. So I used to be on social media, like all the time, on my Facebook, on my Instagram. I would save memes to my phone that I felt that were encouraging or uplifting or, something to think about, especially when he and I were going through hard times. I would save certain memes that I resonated with. And then there was like this moment where it seemed like everything flipped. Like everything changed on this social platform where I was starting to see memes of all these situations that I had been in with him, conversations that I had been in with him, personal, very personal situations. And it was always from the POV, me, when I'm taking a shower in boiling hot water, and that is when I have my best epiphanies. And I'm like, that's weird, because I just had that conversation with him. I like just told him that when I'm in the shower, I get my best downloads, my epiphanies, my realizations, my creative thoughts and instincts. I do. They come to me in the shower. So then I see this meme that says something of that nature. And then I see a flood of them, where they are strictly personal and confidential information that I have myself not ever shared with anyone outside of him, because he was my partner. We lived together for years. We talked to each other. We confided in each other. We showed parts of ourselves that we didn't show to the world. And I was seeing these memes that were like referencing all of these things. And I went to him and I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm seeing all these memes and stuff, and I had this deep intuition that his friend might be behind it. And I said, she's a content creator. She's using multiple profiles. She's going behind the curtain. She's going on an anonymous pretext or whatever, and she's just talking shit about me. And he laughed at me. He was like, no, that's not true. You're delusional. You're crazy. Whatever. Again, the gaslighting, if you saw the last post. So that being said, I brushed it off, but I continued to see it. I continued to see it in mass volume. And it got more and more personal. It got more and more about sexual activities, things that I might do in the bedroom, things that no one else knows about me, because I have been in this three-year relationship with this man, and there are no others. There are no others, unless we're going back years, that know my personal activities. And the ways that I do things personally. And they went on to point out, mistakes I've made, thoughts I've had, even in one instance where there was a very, very specific situation that happened within our household. It was between he and I and my daughter. So we had this huge incident where she was like losing her shit. She's 6 years old or 7 years old. And she just started freaking out. And she was stressing. She was having a full-blown anxiety attack. Okay? She's a child. She's 7 years old. But I told her, I said, calm down. Take a breath. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. There were only 3 people present when that happened. It was he and I and my daughter. His stepdaughter, pretty much. And not 2 days later, this memes, which I don't read memes anymore. I don't condone them. I actually fucking hate them. I hate them completely now. When I used to find solace in certain memes and advice and things that I could take to heart in my own life and my own situation, I used to feel that way about them until they were used against me. They were weaponized towards me. Now I don't read memes. If I get any suggestions, if I get anything having to do with memes, I'm like, nope, block, not interested, don't give a fuck, especially when they're used to hurt other people, to anonymously stick the knife in to someone that they don't even know. They've never personally even met. They can stand behind this curtain and they can talk shit, and they don't ever have to take accountability or get their ass beat because they will never admit that it was them. So anyways, let me get off my soapbox. What I was saying, that situation, that term that has been coined, you're doing too much, that was me. That was me talking to my daughter. And there were no one else present except for the 3 of us. But when this man did start cheating on me, he was pillow talking with her. He was having plenty of conversations. We already established that daily. Pillow talking. Telling her all of my deepest, darkest secrets. So yeah, that's me here. Authentic. I'm going to be real with you. A lot of those things that were said in the point of view, me, when my guy says that I'm just thick and there's a picture, me, like large and chunky and fat deposits, and I'm not trying to hate on anybody. I'm just saying that is one of these memes, is the point of view is always me taking a shower in boiling hot water and having my best epiphanies, or me eating a salad and whatever. I'm just trying to come up with examples, except for the first one was definitely a real example. Anyways, this person, this third party, the one that I referred to as the pick me bitch, we can call her Fallout Girl. That's one of the things that has come to me and I've like thought was a good reference, Fallout Girl. Or, we'll just say her name is like Autumn Coker. Anyways, moving on. She has a lot of followers. She has lots of content on Instagram and Facebook. And I have been specifically targeted. Like, I get notifications and I get suggestions in my feed that say, hey, you should follow this person, Nene 2022 or whatever. It's never real names because, like I said, she hides behind a mask. She's a fucking coward and she doesn't have the balls to approach me personally and tell me what her fucking problem is, to be completely honest. Excuse my language. I do feel very passionately about this. I'm not gonna lie. I will also say, I don't know how intentional it was for my ex-beau to put me out on blast like he did. I'm pretty sure it was intentional. He was pissed off at me for whatever I did to him or whatever. However I hurt him. He always plays the victim. He always plays the victim card. He's your typical narcissistic tendencies, whatever. Like, I love him dearly, but he also sucks, like, on an immense level. Anyways, if this has ever happened to you, there's nothing you can do about it. There's no one you can turn to. There's no way to prove it. There's no way to actually say, I know that it's this person, especially if they're going under fake profiles and anonymous names and whatnot. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's a horrible situation to be in, like I myself, it was my intuition. Like, my intuition is on point. It's on point. As soon as I read the meme, I was like, that bitch, this is her. Block. I got to a point where I stopped getting on Facebook. I stopped getting on Instagram. I was like, I just don't want to be berated with this bullshit, like, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth my energy. I am not so fucking low vibrational as this whore. Excuse my language again. Sorry, I'm not very PC. I will be completely honest. I am not low vibrational. I'm not going to bring myself down to this level. I'm not going to give them the reaction that they are hoping for because it's not worth my time. I've got more important things to do in my life. I give a shit about people. I will give you the utmost respect until you give me a reason not to. I am compassionate. I empathize with everyone's struggle. And I also am very aware that when you meet someone that is ugly or angry or just immediately decides they hate you for no reason, it's because it's something that is going on with them. It has nothing to do with you. It is their own personal struggle and is their own emotional intelligence and how they choose to handle what they're dealing with in their own life. Okay? So I can't say I have much compassion for her because she's a piece of shit. But otherwise, I do. I adamantly am compassionate and empathetic towards anyone else. Okay? And she just poked a bear, to be completely honest. She fucked with the wrong one. And her karmic retribution will probably be ugly, and it will probably hurt greatly. Because honestly, she didn't hurt me personally. She didn't hurt me by her talking shit and whatever, trying to defame me or tear down my character and my integrity, or not defame, that's the wrong word, but trying to like go against my name, you know, like who I am as a person. We have never met. We have never personally met. Like, there was a situation after months and months and months of me going through this with my ex when we were together. He was very present. He was very affectionate. He was very loving. He was giving. He put in his 50% of the relationship. You know, out of the 100%, there was equal give and take until she magically popped up out of nowhere after years or whatever. Like I said, we were together for like 2 years before this started to transpire. She popped up out of nowhere because she saw that he was happy and she wanted to know, you know, what was going on? Why was this relationship different when he had tumultuous relationships in the past? And he had always gone to her and told her, you know, this is what's going on. This is, you know, my ex is abusing me, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when she saw that he was happy, she wanted to know, like, what's different? Like, what's different about this chick or whatever? And he spoke highly of me. He respected me. He was enamored with me. She wanted what I had. Again, what we had. I said that in the last video as well. Anyways, she did. She did everything she could to infiltrate our relationship. She did backhanded and dirty things. She assassinated my character, or at least tried to. She got down and dirty. She wanted to roll around in the mud with me. But you know what? I don't roll around in the mud with low vibrational bitches. I don't have time for that. There is no competition. Like, you want what I have. I put in the work. I earned what I had. I gave all my love, all my support, nurtured. This man was down in the dumps when I met him. He did not believe in true love. He didn't believe in falling in love. He had been through plenty of things, been whatever, just emotionally pushed down, you know, like he, in somewhere or some way, he was forced to dim his light. He felt like he was the outsider. He was the one that had to conform to societal roles and be extra masculine and extra, you know, protector and all this stuff, which he is. He is extra masculine. He's the most masculine man I've ever met. He is also a protector and a provider. He was like that change of scenery or change of pace for me. And like I said, I still have deep love for him, even though we have been separated for almost a year. But she never felt like he was good enough. He was never good enough for her because she's fucking hot shit, or at least she thinks she is. And super fake, by the way, too. Like, I have nothing against you guys. Beautify yourself. Like, do it up. You know, like, look at my hair. Like, this is natural, but it was dyed for years. And now I just haven't dyed it because I don't have the money to go out and, do a little self-care or whatever, because I'm still rebuilding from the damage that some home wrecker started. Not saying it was all her, not saying it was all him. It was a whole chain of events. But yeah, this is natural. I've been gray since I was like 20 years old. And yeah, I'm not a natural redhead. I have brown hair. Anyways, somebody made me feel really good the other day. They were like, how'd you do that with your hair? And I'm like, what? And they're like, your hair, it's dope. Like, how'd you do that? And I laughed and I said, it's natural. It's just, I felt like I needed to dye it again. Like I'm looking old or whatever. But I've gotten so many compliments on it that I might just keep it. Anyways, again, trailing off. She's fake. She's got fake nails. She got fake hair. She got fake eyelashes. She got fake everything. Like, she is just fake. And she paints this picture of who she is or how special she is. And she's all about competition. She's all about, I want that and I will get it. Well, congratulations. You got it. You got it, but you will also lose it the way you got it. Like, you took him away by using your body and tempting him because you have no fucking serious, your surface level. You don't have any depth. You don't have anything to offer except for your body. And what other female doesn't have that to offer? Yeah, I could offer up my body. That's easy. That's no problem. I didn't have to do that though. There was more to it than that. There was much more to it than that. And because of that, she will lose him. He wants somebody that is intelligent, that actually has a brain, that actually reads books, that actually has something to talk about. Anyways, I'm just being hateful, and I'm really not. And I'm really not a hateful person. And whatever. She got what she wanted. He got exactly what he wanted. More power to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie and say that it didn't hurt. It did. It hurt. It hurt because I invested everything into this man. I invested my heart and soul. My daughter loves him. We had a family, and she truly is, she's a homewrecker, for real. And, it's nothing to her. She has her own children, and that guy didn't stick around. He impregnated her and he fucking bolted, and I can only imagine why, because she's psychotic. But, anyways, I keep losing track of what I'm trying to say. So not only was my character assaulted, I was seeing these memes. I was seeing very personal things that I've only ever talked about to my true divine counterpart. I have had soulmates, but this man, he was different. He's the other half of my soul. We are yin and yang. We had this connection that didn't require words. They're almost like, I say almost, like, just because I'm so used to dumbing down shit for people who don't believe in what I believe in, but like there was telepathic communication between us. I heard what he was thinking sometimes, not all the time. And that was both good and bad. Like when things were good, I was picking up what he was putting down. Like, and when things were bad, I was picking up on some weird shit. Like some weird shit. Like, you are dead. You are dead already. Like, weird shit. So I don't want to get too weird with you guys, but pillow talk. He may or may not have inadvertently disclosed personal information because he was mad at me, or because he didn't know the consequences that it would incur. You know, like he was talking to her thinking, this is my friend. We've known each other for 20 years. She's safe, whatever. But no, this chick had a personal vendetta against me from the beginning. And that reminds me back to where I was going initially, was when things started going awry and feeling off, and I was wondering what the hell was going on, because he totally flipped scripts. Like he totally went from being present, being affectionate, being a good listener and receptive to me and all this stuff. Like he went off grid. Like, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I saw this text message on his phone. It was like her sending him a kissy face. And he says, you know, you just flipped after you saw that picture. It was just a picture. She was just showing off her Dallas Cowboy earrings that she got or whatever. And I was like, well, why is she giving you fucking duck face then? And he was like, oh, it's nothing, you know. She was just using a filter. Like, he changed his story each time that we did talk about it. So I also knew, like, okay, why do you keep changing your story? First it was a filter, then it was her earrings, whatever. Anyways, he's out of town. I'm like telling him, like, whatever's going on, please just be honest with me. Please just tell me what is going on. Like, if you have feelings for her, just tell me and I will hit the road, dude. I will kick rocks, because I don't need that drama. Like, if you don't want me, that is your prerogative. Just tell me. But he's like, no, you're delusional. You're imagining it. This is nothing. And again, I lost my train of thought. Pillow talking, whatever. Okay, so I've also received like downloads or messages. My guides have told me what is really going on, because when all this went down, he continued to what is the term? He dangled a possibility in front of me. He kept me, God, I can't think of it right now, but anyways, I left. Things could not continue the way that they were continuing. And I, sorry, you see my, by the way, Happy New Year. I got some Shinerbach for the new year and some Fireball. But anyways, things could not continue the way they were continuing. He was keeping me hanging. He was, non-committal. He was like, we will not get back together, but he was inviting me over every weekend, and we were spending the weekends together. And he was keeping up the dynamic that he had been keeping up since the cheating started, hot and cold, and, interested, not interested, like there, present, everything was good. And then off the map, like, don't even say hello. Like, that song, Messy, comes to mind. I actually sent it to him. And I was just like, oh my gosh. You think I'm brilliant or whatever, but then I'm too stupid, dumb, and you love to hear me talk or whatever until I open my big mouth, or like, I'm totally botching the lyrics. But if you ever have heard that song, Messy, like, that was like, it's spot on. And not that I'm trying to pretend to be anybody that I'm not, but I did try to be 1,000 people for him. They all were an element of myself, but I wasn't pretending to be someone I wasn't, but they all were an element of myself, and I showed him, and it was never good enough. It was still, he hated the whole damn lot. But going on to the pillow talk and the gossip, and someone who is who's shy and he doesn't talk to a lot of people or whatever. Like, I heard this guy, he talks so much shit on everybody, like on the phone with his dad, and on the phone with his mom, and on the phone with his brother. He'd just be in there telling everybody's business and stuff. And he would tell me too. He'd come home from work, and he would talk to me for like an hour and tell me about his day. And he'd tell me like, oh, so-and-so might be getting a divorce and whatever. Like, he loves to gossip. He really does. He loves to gossip. And that also, by the way, that changed when the cheating started. Like, he would literally come home. He would not even say hello to me, also in the Messy song. And I'd be like, what's up? He'd be like, oh, I'm just tired. And I'm like, oh, how was your day? And he's like, it was fine. And I'm like, dude, you used to come home and talk to me about your day for an hour, like for a full hour. You would tell me down to what you painted and what building you cut in, and just whatever, like in detail, but not in like making shit up detail, like straight up just what he did. And then he just fell off, like, and I can't help but think it's only because whatever his day was involving then and at that time involved someone or something that he could not talk to me about. And I did find out later that that's exactly what it was. He was actually courting this person. Like, sorry for my old fashioned, whatever. I'm not young, but he was courting her. He was going to secret lunches, and he was taking her on dates, and he was getting home later and later and later every day. And he was making excuses. And at one point he even went out of town with his boss, and I was like trying to text him, and I was like, he was in Tampa or something. And I was like, what is going on? Like, please, like, I pleaded with him, like, please, whatever this is, can I please put a stop to it before it gets worse? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm just watching football with my boss. And not like a week later, this freaking meme pops up on Instagram. It's like a picture of like a cat, like a tall, like gangster looking cat with a beard. And my guy, he's tall, was tall, beard, 6'3", no tattoos or whatever, but the meme had tattoos. And then this little bitch pink cat that was like hugging him, and they're looking all, she's got her joint in her mouth or whatever because she likes to smoke. She's a pretty pothead. It said, "You didn't stop anything." And I'm like, well, if that wasn't for fucking me, I don't know who it was for. And then he's like, "You're crazy. Like, there are plenty of people that have been in these situations and blah, 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 whatever, did this, that, or the other." And I'm like, you're right. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. This could have nothing to do with me. Maybe I am just vain or whatever. But when it came to things, personal things in my life, like very personal things that happened behind closed doors that were strictly between us, and then they gained like complete notoriety, like you're doing too much, yeah, you're doing too much. Or there were other things like, oh, as soon as I stop giving BJs, the relationship's over. Well, just take that where you want to, or whatever. Like, somebody must only be good for the BJs. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyways, the gossip. Again, I'm going way out there. I have too much to say. I really do. It's been a long road. As far as gossip, around or through the grapevine, there's been some this rumor that I clawed my way back to the top, because I will say I've always been self-sufficient. I've always taken care of myself. I actually had a home. I had my daughter enrolled in prestigious, for the lack of a better word, preschool, and then pre-K and kindergarten, and specialty schools or whatever, like, as a single parent. I did that myself. I want her to experience better than what I ever experienced. I grew up in public school. I was treated like shit. I was ostracized. I was the weirdo. I was the odd one out, which brings me back to what I was saying about him before I ventured office. He was the odd one out. He was misunderstood all his life, and so was I. So we connected very well. We connected and we coexisted, and we were like really happy, like without even speaking words. We would sit next to one another. Our knees would be touching, or we'd be, our arms intertwined or whatever, like playing on our phones or whatever, not speaking to each other, but we were so close. It was blissful. It really was. And that part, that hurts me. So she did. She wrecked that. She must have never had that. And she wanted it. And I guarantee you, she didn't succeed. She didn't get it. She played the part. She pretended to be able to offer what I can offer, but she can't offer what I can offer because she is not me. And I am not low vibrational, and I do not use my body to get my way. And that's that's what I wanted to really kind of close this out with, is like full disclosure. I have never once sold my body nor services in exchange for payment. Like, never once. And I'm not going to tell you that I have not been free giving in certain circumstances. Like, when you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a sensual person. I am not a prostitute, and nor have ever been. But I guess in order to make himself feel better about my leaving the state, and that just reminded me again where I was going with that at another point in the conversation, was he was keeping me on a thread. He was dangling some sort of future with me, but he was only using me. Like, he would call me up on the weekends and come over, hang out with me, and my daughter and I would go over there and we'd hang out and we'd get food and we'd drink and we'd talk and we'd stay up all night and have a good time. And, but then he'd just fall off for the week or whatever. Like, it was when I was convenient for him. And I knew that as long as I stayed around, that he would continue to treat me like an option or, a convenience or whatever. And I had other things going on. I had family things. I was pushed out. I was forced to go. I fled for the safety of myself and my daughter. But that was part of it too, was I had to leave him, or I would never honestly be able to put a stop to the shitty dynamic that our relationship had turned into. It was just keeping me on the side. Like, I was side work. I was side work for him, which apparently he's had plenty of side work. Like, you should see his phone. It says side work, friend from work, this, that, and the other from work, side work 2, side work 3. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to know, honestly. I mean, I want to know, but I don't want to know, because, I've never met anyone like that. And he swore to me too. He swore to me that he didn't have the energy for 2 females, barely for 1. But I kind of found out that was the biggest, farthest bullshit from the truth. But anyways, gang stalking. And I got to wrap this up. We're at 48 minutes. But if you've been through that, if you've experienced that, there's nothing you can do. It makes you feel incredibly powerless and helpless. It sucks. They are simply, they're jealous. They're jealous of something that you have that they don't have. And do not give them the energy. Don't feed into their bullshit. Because if they get the reaction out of you that they're looking for, they will continue. They will make it worse. They will do whatever they can to continue to destroy you. You're stronger than that. You don't need to feed into it. And it's just not worth it. And I know it's a lot easier said than done. But again, I'm on a different frequency. I always have been. And If you know, you know. I lead with integrity and dignity. And of course, I have had situations and downfalls and whatever where I had no dignity left. Like, especially when I was emotionally abused and manipulated and spiritually attacked. Like, yeah, there were times where I left my dignity, or I forgot my dignity. I left it at the door. You know what I'm saying? But I always led with integrity. As long as you have true intent behind what you do, like you don't intend to harm or hurt other people, that will come back to you. You will continue to be blessed for that, as long as you move with integrity and dignity. You don't have to lie, cheat, or steal, or bring someone else down or climb on their back to step up. You do you. You be authentic, and remember, integrity and honesty and truth, those things will get you far. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it in a world where people are committed to misunderstanding you and tearing people down to climb the ladder. It all comes back to them. Karma is real. Magic is real. And as long as you move with true intentions and in the highest good of yourself and the highest good of others, it will come back to you. It might take a little while, and it sucks. It sucks trying to have that patience, but it will come back to you. The good things will come back to you, and all that bad shit, all that negative energy that was vomited all over you, it will come back to them. And just in closing, a little incantation you can use when you get weird prickly skin, or you get this inclination that someone's giving you the evil eye, or you feel anxious out of nowhere for no reason or whatever. Just return to sender. Okay? Speak it into the universe. Return to sender. And it will be returned. And they'll not know what the fuck hit them. But it will. It'll hit them. Threefold, even. Anyways, I'm done. Happy New Year. Peace out. I love you.